So I'm in Ipswich again at the forbidden Tesla charger. I managed to drive the battery down to 26.3% state of charge, and I just want to quickly, of course, oh god, my parking skills, wow, what am I doing? Alright, so 15 amp setting, of course, and 3.5 kilowatt, 14.2 amps. Alright, okay guys, I have to talk to you about this sign here. It says Tesla vehicle charging only. So I'm not supposed to charge here, but as you know, I made a video before of this location here, and they've got two Tesla chargers here, which I do appreciate. And of course the signs say Tesla vehicle charging only. I got in contact with the owner of this complex building there via email and asked them, because the charger shows up as a public charger on the app PlugShare. It is a public charger, but then you've got this restriction here, and this all is private property. It's not a public car park, it is private property for customers of tenants in this building. The owner got back to me twice with an email and explained the situation. As long as you have a business with one of the tenants here, you can park here and you can also charge here, regardless if you have a Tesla or not. If you have an adapter like I have, you can charge here. It is allowed to charge here, but you need to have a link to one of the tenants over there, to one of the businesses. There is an architect, there is an engineer office, there is a cafe, there is a restaurant, there's a bar, there are several other, so I'm currently waiting for my wife to come in. When she's coming in, we will go into the cafe and drink a coffee over here, and I will charge the car as long as we are there. So there's no problem with charging the car here at all. And now I got some negative comments and some thumbs down the last time I made a video here. I just want to make this really clear. You are allowed to charge here as long as you have a business with one of the guys over there. And we will visit the cafe later on and have a coffee there, so we buy something from these guys. Okay guys, so far this little update. I plugged in the car last night with 30.3% state of charge, charged with 6 amps overnight, which was a total of 6.7 kilowatt hours, which have been pushed into the battery. The EVSE showed me 7.5 kilowatt hours, which went into the car, and the dog shows me 6.7 kilowatt hours into the battery. Also, I did not use the charge or save button in the car. I let the battery run down totally flat when we drove here, and the engine fired in after 31.5 kilometers. So that was the maximum I could get out of the battery. That is the maximum range. But as you know, that was mostly highway only, and we've got these huge 2 mountains to cross, which I did on full battery power, which is not the most economical way to drive the car, but I just wanted to see how far I come with the battery. And also we had the heater on for the first couple of kilometers because we had only 11 degrees this morning and the car was freezing cold inside. And you know, when you've got your wife with you, you have to have the heater on a little bit. So 31.5, potentially you could stretch this to probably, I wouldn't say 35, but maybe 33 or 34 without heating. And look at these 2 beautiful old trees here. That is pretty amazing. They must be really old. Awesome. This OBD adapter gives me the shits here, really. Cannot communicate. So I'm charging here now for over half an hour and the battery temperature has not risen yet. We are still at 31 degrees for the maximum temperature, module temperature. So even on 15 amp there's no temperature increase in the battery happening at this cold winter weather of 21 degrees. Up there's the ranger taking photos of these cars who haven't got a valid ticket for parking there. He's got a little printer with him. Bang, ticket. Next one. And now he's taking photos back and front for evidence. Glad I'm parking on a private car park here in charging. Looking forward to the coffee. Okay, so we are at 80% state of charge now here, and I just realized the charger has been pulled. It says we don't have any power, but the app is still in charge mode. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's in balancing mode. 120 watts after 1 hour and 40 minutes plugged in. 5.8, almost 6 kilowatt hours, and this is the balancing. That's just the balancing happening right now. It doesn't show you any current, any power going in the battery at the moment, but it's still charging, obviously. And this is at 80% state of charge. I will just unplug and see what we got.
Much later.
So we now have arrived back home. I filled up the car a little bit with fuel and could charge to 80%, and now we are down to 25.7 again. And also the battery temperature has risen to 34 degrees now. The actual battery cooling has kicked in, and we've got only 19 degrees outside. It just shows how stressed the battery is again. And on highway and hybrid drive, there's the air condition coming in for the battery cooling. And under these circumstances I would not recharge the battery right now. So this is exactly what is mentioned in the FAQ. You should give the battery a rest now to cool down before you plug it into charge. That shouldn't take too long because the outside temperature is pretty cold, and 33 is not too hot, and the lowest cell is even 21, so it's not overly warm or hot. But I still I will probably recharge at about 1 AM, so it gives it at least 6-7 hours now of rest and cooling down time. So that should be totally fine. Apart from that, the car has used, so that was in total 112 kilometers and 81% EV driving, 11.2 kilowatt hours. This includes the charge before we started and the charge I did in between at the Tesla charger. And overall we have used 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is pretty good. So overall very happy with these results.
The next day.
So guys, after yesterday's drive to Ipswich, we came back with 26% state of charge, and I plugged in the car at the 10 amp setting because I interrupted yesterday's charge at the Tesla side over there when the balancing happened of the pack. Yeah, I thought that's a little bit of a problem to stop charging while balancing is happening. So I set the EVSE to 10 amp last night and let it do whatever it needs to do. So 26% to 100% took exactly 4 hours and 2 minutes. The energy consumption was 7.7 kilowatt hours. That's what the whole system took. So instead of having a 5-hour charge with a 10 amp setting, it has done it in 4 hours. Yeah, this only highlights again how far the battery capacity is already down. So it takes only 4 hours instead of 5 hours. This is 20% less time to fully charge. And that's exactly what I have lost in capacity. And driving range, of course.
The next day.
So guys, I just want to quickly show you something. We have been to lately just now. That was so after going there and back, we arrived here with 35% state of charge. Okay, so this is the trip card from today, and you can see we have done 31.1 kilometers. I had 2 kilometers left on the gasometer, so I could potentially drive a little bit further, but this is the maximum range I get with 78.8% state of health. This is the maximum range I can get out of the battery. About 33 kilometers, and the average speed was 48.5 kilometers per hour. So it was a combination of 60 and 80 zones and a little bit of town driving in lately. So 33 kilometers maximum. That's all. I must admit, we have winter time, so the battery was cold. It was under 20 degrees warm, and it's not performing to its best, of course, but still we get only 33 kilometers, which is quite disappointing. So something needs to be done, I would say. And now even these shorter drives with around 30 kilometers of range are painful to drive with the car, because I need to drive very, very careful to make sure I'm only driving in EV mode. You can really feel the battery is down and is not performing well anymore, unfortunately. Well, that's just how it is at the moment. Not good. I'm not happy with the car anymore.